Call the meeting to order. Got somebody pulling in now. Start with Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Looks like snow in the headlights there.
Big raindrops. All right, so the special meeting today, we've got action items. Number 3, payment of general fund vouchers in the amount of $4745.07.
I'll make a motion to approve action item A, approving 474507.
I'll second that.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. And then we are down to, did you want to go over some things on the executive director's report?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
okay.
do.
Let's go straight to that then.
There's been a lot happened the last 2 weeks. Start with the 2020 budget. We have the draft budget on the agenda tonight, as well as a public hearing for the 2020 budget. We should have one more public hearing at our November 4th meeting and adopt it then. We use bias to track our 2019 revenue and costs. However, the initial setup bias did first had some kinks in it for tracking both costs and specific sources of revenue. As reported at the October 7th meeting, we discovered this when we started setting up the Excel template for this budget. Found a number of duplicate revenue categories for the same item with money posted in each of them, but we've since figured out where and how all the revenue needs to be properly allocated, and we will adjust the chart of accounts accordingly. The updated budget document you received today reflects those corrections. That was all money we actually have, and the good news is our total revenue does exceed expenses. The difference shown on the total sheet is cash carryover, plus the revenue we show in bias does match the latest treasurer's report from the county. Notable on the expense side, we budgeted $7,000 for our state audit, $6,000 for election costs, neither of which we had last year.
Sorry.
Also, our Endurance premium has increased significantly, over 18%. Our 2018-19 premium was a little over $17,000, while our 2019-20 premium went up over $19,500. We budgeted $21,000 for 2020-21. Our basic methodology is to take our year-to-date cost, divide by the 9 months covered in bias to get a monthly average, and multiply by 12 to get our projected 2020 costs. Same method we've used for the past years, and it's been pretty accurate. The only real question marks are revenue, not costs. As you know, we budget revenue very conservatively and costs liberally. The main issues, as we noted in our October 7th report, are how much property tax and timber tax revenue we'll receive. 2018, we budgeted $11,000 for timber tax, but received over $70,000. We budgeted $25,000 in 2019 and have received nothing so far. We're not sure what to expect in 2020, but we've only budgeted $10,000. We budgeted the same amount of property tax revenue for 2020 as we received in 2019, plus 1%, knowing that will be low as assessed valuations have increased, and that does provide a small cushion. We also expect additional revenue from the new marina via the new pay station, but have only budgeted the same amounts as we did in 2019. For budgeting purposes, we allocated a 3% across the board cost of living increase for staff. We've also amended the water system budget. Originally, we budgeted for 10 new water hookups due to the 15 water availability letters we issued to 2 different contractors. While 3 of the homes are under construction now, the one builder, Cedarland Homes, last week did 10 system taps, so we billed them $54,625 for 10 connection fees last week, plus another $1170 for 10 water meters. That's why we amended the budget to only include 5 connections and meters next year. However, that does give us enough cash reserve to pay $23,775 back to the general fund for 5 years of loans it made to the water fund to repay the IDD fund, and still leaves a profit for 2019 and 2020. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
I have none.
Okay, state audit. The state auditor started here Thursday, expects to be here about 2 weeks. Nothing new on Garrick Utilities. Property purchase. You approved Resolution 405 last month to move this process forward. We've also received the milestone report from RCO. Basically outlines what steps we have to take from here and in what order. They originally wanted the property acquisition to close September 30, but due to cash flow issues having to do with our other projects, I had some concerns about meeting that deadline and was able to secure an extension to December 31st. Sellers are pushing us to close, and in talking with Kim Sellers, I found out RCO will fund 75% of this up front once we have a purchase and sale agreement in hand, which we do in the form of Resolution 405, which I submitted to them along with everything else that I have today. There's a somewhat convoluted process we have to go through, and Kim was going to walk me through it this week, or last week, but she was out sick, so this week hopefully we can get it done. According to RCO, we need to have an appraisal review done. I contacted the person our appraiser recommended, got it back last week. So we should be able to close on this hopefully by the end of the month. Copier lease on our copiers up. We need to either buy it at market value or get a new one, which is our preferred option. Goal was to try to find a machine that fits our needs and includes technology advances that have taken place between when we got the machine 5 years ago and what's available now. Does it for the least cost. We actually found one and made a decision about one today. We had the proposal for a while, but we had to weigh them all. We made the decision today, and the one that we're going to get will do everything we need and should save us somewhere between $500 and $700 a year over what we've been paying.
Great.
Security issues. We're looking into what it'll take to install some kind of high-resolution remote camera system here at the park, as well as at the Hood Canal Boat Launch and Marina. Our system's available to transmit images from multiple cameras to multiple locations and store them in the cloud. I met with a representative from IntelliSystems, did a tour of our facility so they can evaluate our needs and give us a bid. Still waiting for that. Called them to follow up last week, told them they would try to find it, get us in time for this meeting, which didn't happen. So I started researching other options on the MRSC small works roster and found out that somebody that does provide security systems is Hood Canal Communications. So I have a call into John. 3D building acquisition. Appears the building's been sold. I saw work going on there, so out of curiosity, I stopped by to see if I could find out who bought it. None of the workers knew who the new owner is, but they were doing some interior structural work as well as cosmetic work. So maybe we're lucky WashDOT didn't give it to us. WPPA meeting schedule. As you all know, Small Ports is this week. We've made reservations for everyone, so we can do the retreat there as well. We have the room set up for that. However, the hotel's booked solid Friday night, so our options are to move to another hotel in town and stay the night, or just leave when we're done and face Friday night Seattle traffic. I think at the last meeting you all decided you just wanted to leave Friday night.
Yep.
Okay. I will be attending the MRSC workshop on contracting and purchasing in Spokane on September 28th and 29th. Considering all the projects we have going on and others we expect to pursue, I think will be valuable. I was originally going to not come back here Friday and just go directly to Spokane, but I've got personal things going on, so I am going to go back Friday. Last meeting of the year is the annual meeting, November 20th and 22nd at the Hotel Murano in Tacoma. As usual, we'll make reservations. That's the old Sheridan Hotel.
Mhm.
I don't know if
You stayed there.
You've been
that
there
or not.
Yeah.
several times.
That's the hotel. Retreat provided you all with a proposed agenda. We'll need to discuss future projects and update our comprehensive scheme. We'd like to know if any of you have any other specific subjects and you'd like to discuss them so we can add them on there. I have a meeting with Heather Reese coming up this week to sign an agreement for use of that office space. Nothing new on the totem pole. Transient moorage expansion project, I spoke with the electrician last week. He expects to be completely finished by the end of this week. I'm hoping the weather doesn't delay it. Don still needs to build the kiosk, and we need to have some signs made, but we should be substantially wrapped up before the end of the month. The electrician will have an invoice to me in time for the next regular meeting, and I will get excuse me, and all the other reimbursable expenses for the project in previous to that, so perhaps we can collect either before or shortly after we have to pay them. Other than that, we'll only have one small set of reimbursements afterwards. However, Scott informed me we may have an issue with the fire code and have to upgrade our system there. I don't have any costs on that yet, but did talk to our grant manager at Commerce to see if we can use any of our leftover money for that. She told me it would be an expansion of the scope of the grant, but since it was a code issue, there's a possibility we could. She told me to get costs, write it up for her, and submit it, and she'll see what she can do to help. We're gonna have almost $100,000 left over from the grant. So, nothing new to report on Sweetwater Park, Oyster House. Our current part of the project is get the launch ramp removed and the pilings driven. Met with Pat McCullough and the guy who will be doing the geotechnical survey last week. I'm not sure he's going to be the guy. I think we might want to look for somebody else. Pat also gave us a proposal, but some negotiating is in order. Spoke with Bill Ray about permitting, and we're going to connect to Small Forts him and I. Once the permits are clarified, we can begin the demolition. We have to the end of February to get that done, otherwise we have to wait till July. Pat suggested we expand the deck to accommodate community gatherings like they did for Net Shed 9 restoration in Gig Harbor. Told them we'd have to check with historic folks, as that wasn't our decision. I did send an email to Nicholas Van on Friday asking about this, and I heard back from him this morning. He said he doesn't have a problem with it. So we need to, I think, talk about that at the retreat, see what you all want to do. Criminalization of the marina rules, nothing new to report. All ports meeting, that's Kitsap All Ports is scheduled for the 28th, but I'll be in Spokane and miss that. So, but I just basically wanted to go through kind of an update on our projects and budget.
Where do they hold the Kitsap all ports?
Port of Brownsville.
Oh, I have North Mason Communities came to.
What's the status of the damage that the barge did to the dock?
The dock's been fixed. We
Oh.
don't know who fixed it, but it's been fixed.
Yeah.
So I don't know if
Gremlins.
Green Floats fixed it, because they haven't said anything to me. And Bill Dewey said he wanted to know if their people could fix it, because they have experience doing that. And so I told him, yeah, go ahead. But I never heard back from him either, and we went down there, and the dock's fixed.
Is it
So,
as good as new?
it's as good as it's gonna get.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I guess that part wasn't new.
Pardon?
The outside part that they hit wasn't the new part.
No.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
When did it get damaged? Was that from long before? or-
What, about a week and a half ago? They
Oh,
ran a
really?
oyster
Right after
barge
they
into
finished it.
Okay.
Oh, I got that. Can't
So anyway, I I didn't talk to Bill, I emailed Bill, and we played phone tag for a bit. But he said they would take care of the damage.
Right.
So either way, whether they fixed it or Marine Floats fixed it,
It's fixed.
they'll pay for whoever had to fix it. He didn't even question.
That's awesome.
So old business, I've given you all the updates on the projects there, so.
Yeah, we can just move into, does anybody have anything for old business? Any questions?
Take a look. I don't think so. So, yes.
I don't have any questions.
Nope.
All right, moving on to new business. Set official date for Commissioners Retreat. That's gonna be the Friday of the afternoon, the last day of the Small Ports Conference. James found us a room.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
So I guess we're usually out of there about 11 o'clock, and the agenda usually says 12 o'clock, so to be safe, should we set the,
Time from noon to.
yeah, maybe noon to,
5?
yeah.
Is that long enough?
Yeah,
That's a
should be.
long,
Yeah.
maybe, yeah.
Okay.
Should be. Need a motion.
Well, I move that we set our retreat at Leavenworth Manzian Inn from noon to 4.
I like 4 better.
Okay.
I'll second that motion.
Motion made and seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Then moving on to review and discussion of the 2020 budget. Just want to open it up real quick.
I sent you all the updated.
I might have had a question or two on there.
We just had to go through and double check the totals and double check the formulas and Excel. But we got it.
And one question I have is the operations manager full-time rate, is that correct in there?
Yes.
Okay. And then, can you explain the transfer to the water fund repayment for the IDD?
We're gonna have 50,000, 54,000, whatever it was that we built Cedarville. You know, plus the, let me get to that. Here we go. Okay. We're gonna have 40, we put in 47.5 for the hookup fees, and then,
In revenue?
water meter sales, 469. And then water payments, you know, we got more money coming in from the customers after we did the rate increase. And you can see the difference, you know, look at our year-to-date budget, but we only budgeted 71.84 rather than, you know, we've taken in quite a bit more than that already. But the 47.5 and the other revenue, you know, we have total revenue of 56,658. We can pay back 23,775 to the general fund and still have a profit with the water company of 22,339.25. You know, and that's paying back that other. And that's in the, we put that in revenue in the general fund.
What's the balance on the loan repayment? I thought we were down to a couple of payments.
We're down to one
payment?
payment, but I can't tell you the balance off the top
Sure,
of my head.
yeah,
to be
but I
honest.
knew we were down to.
But we're down
getting
to one
close.
payment, and it's 47.55 is the payment.
Mhm.
But how much we have to pay back, I don't know that number off
Sure.
the top of my head. But we, you know, took 47.55 times 5. So, you know, we'll pay back 5 years of that.
And where's that income from Cedarland shown in the
Hookup
revenue?
fees.
Yeah, where's that
I think
at?
47.5.
Oh, not in the water utilities.
And in line tap fees, we added 15% to the bill that we got.
Hmm.
And same thing with the meters.
Who did the work?
Somebody in Olympia that he actually found.
Oh, okay.
But they're on the Small Works roster. I can't think of
Oh,
the name of it
great.
right on. But they're on the Small Works roster.
Okay.
And they sent us back the prevailing wage form.
Great.
So,
Well, you have some in reserve, right?
yeah.
Yay.
So anyway, for the first time since I've been here, we're not in
Mhm.
our pocket of the water.
No, it's awesome.
And when will we get financials from the county?
We get them every month.
No, I mean for the following year,
Oh, sometime late November.
late November.
Yeah, because we gotta have this all approved and everything submitted to the county by November 30th.
Okay.
They're gonna send, I think we're getting the, I got a letter today, and I believe we're gonna have the main revenue, you know, the real estate property tax, we were gonna have that November 2nd.
Great. And sometimes they do estimating, so we can do our budget.
They've estimated it every year I've been here, so. They've never estimated low, though.
No.
I mean, high, they've never overestimated.
Is there anybody we could call about timber tax?
I don't know who to call. I can, you know, call the treasurer and
It's
ask.
just amazing that we got
Right.
70,000 last
Yeah,
year and
and
we're at
nothing
0 in
this year.
October. I mean,
Yeah.
did something happen? Should we even be budgeting for it at all, or? Yeah.
So where does the timber tax come from? Does it come
Sales.
from, I know, but who is, I mean, is it from, because I know that DNR does a lot of timber cutting. Do they
Shows
get all
up
of
in our
it? Do
budget,
they?
that's, you know, shows up in our bank account.
Well, I know, but you don't know where that paper trail comes from.
No, I
Okay.
don't.
I'm just curious.
There is somebody that you can call. And
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know
a
if it's the
phone.
treasurer, but the treasurer might be able to.
Treasurer
tell
gave
you to
started.
call, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just curious where the paper trail comes from.
Yeah,
you
and
know,
I'm
where it
just-
I'll
comes
find out.
from.
'Cause
Curious,
I
I
probably
mean-
ought to know.
Last year, we had so much money from timber tax that we were able to buy a truck. This
Mhm.
year, we have no money from timber tax. Not that we had anything to buy with it, but
There's always stuff to buy.
sure, yeah. But to go from 70,000 to 0
Yeah.
is a pretty big hit.
When do we usually receive that money?
It usually comes in all year.
Throughout the year? Is-
Yeah.
Because if it comes from private companies, then they're required to pay a tax.
So I
That-
don't
that
know
might
if
be
this,
it.
you know, the state's changed so much stuff. I don't know if maybe they're just not holding on to it
Mhm.
and gonna give it to us with our property tax revenue in November or not. you know.
Yeah.
I'll make some calls, find
It
out.
would be nice to know, just,
Yeah.
what's,
I'll find out and I'll let you know.
A question on the capital budget. It's good to see Oyster House getting some money. Yay!
Well, that's our money,
I know.
the 200 and.
Yep, that's our grant.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, we spent 2209 this year of the 218, so that's why we have an odd number.
Great. Sweetwater Park, 5,000. What do you anticipate? That's all gonna be mostly grant, though,
You know,
isn't it?
I just put it in there so if we had to spend some money, it's in there.
Okay.
You know, I don't anticipate spending any money, and we're gonna talk about it at the retreat.
Okay.
So, but I wanted to have a placeholder in case we had to spend some money, like, you know, we talked about those trail cameras, and, you know, we might have to put some fencing up.
Okay.
So, I just wanted to have a placeholder in there.
it is nice to put some money in reserves in the water,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the water budget. That's really necessary. No more questions for me.
Nope,
I'm good right now.
me
Yep.
too.
And then open the public hearing.
Okay, let me get back to
Oh, boy, we have a public.
the second.
Second.
All right, we're gonna close the regular meeting, and we will open the public budget hearing for 2020. Do we have anything from the public? We'll give you time.
I put a notice on Facebook that we're having this. Yeah.
And we will have one more, the November
November
4th
yeah.
meeting. That'll be the final meeting. There you go. Do you have any other, well, I guess we gotta, any other comment for the budget hearing?
I'm very glad we got it once.
Yes.
Yes.
Dick Wilson
Thank
from
you.
PUD in Hooks Point said, keep it. He was right.
Thank you for that work,
That's
Ronnie.
good.
Yeah.
From PUD 1?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we will close the public hearing, budget hearing, and reopen the regular, or the meeting. Special meeting. And we will be back to new business items.
I don't know if it's on the new business, but the emails about the CNW ceremony, which I missed that one. Did you go to the
Oh,
ceremony
Circuit
on the
of the
18th?
Northwest.
No.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
the
went to
racetrack?
Bremerton.
Yeah,
Bremerton
I went,
Racetrack.
oh,
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about now. Yes, I did.
You did go?
Yeah.
And did that go well?
Yeah. You know, they all thought it went well.
Good.
I did call Karn this morning like he
Right,
asked,
yeah.
but all I got was voicemail and a
Okay.
return phone call. But I had a former port commissioner, former county commissioner, who's been one of the drivers of this, leaning on me about it. And what he said was that sometime way back when, like 2007 or something, we signed an agreement with the Port of Bremerton saying we wanted Highway 3 to be a recreational and business corridor, and that we would support each other's projects.
The port?
Whether that's true or not, I don't know.
2007?
Somewhere
Yeah, I
around
know,
there.
but I wonder if it had to
Lonnie
do
was
with the
here.
beds. Did it have to do with the beds?
The heads in bed.
No. It's beds stood for a study. It
Might
was a
have been
study.
NASCAR,
It was
BEDS.
about the time.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bremerton yeah, thank you, Bonnie.
So he wants me to have you all commit to supporting that project.
So which project, the CNW?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it warrants a lot of discussion. To be honest, I'd rather have more public input. I'd like to see that letter. If they have a copy of that letter or agreement.
Well, I asked him for that. He said he'd try to find it.
But I think it'd take a lot more discussion.
I agree, and it's on the agenda for the retreat.
And Mason County EDC believes that that project will compete for dollars for the project in Shelton.
I do too.
Hmm.
And why have two exactly the same that close to each other?
But they're saying no.
It would also compete with more ideas that we have.
Oh, right, yeah, I saw that.
Oh, yeah, we'll talk about that one.
We do have discussion of date for ribbon cutting ceremony.
Yeah, the lobbyists feel like we should have big ribbon cutting, invite all the elected officials that had anything to do with getting us the money for this project.
Right.
And I think it's a great idea. We also
Yeah.
have Steve Theringer coming on the 18th of November. He's the head of handing out recreational money.
Oh, right, yeah, we definitely want to be here for him. And
Yeah, so he's gonna come pay us a visit and we're gonna give him a tour.
great.
Is there
Should
any
we have-
possible way to do it on the,
Same day.
or is that too much on the same day?
I don't know.
It might be too much.
You know, it might be, but it'd be even better if it was. And I thought about that, and I asked Brianna about it, and she said she would check and get back to me, but I haven't really heard anything. And I sent an email out to everybody last week asking them to send me some dates that they'd be available for this, and I've only gotten 2 responses. So, got one from Dan Griffey's office and one from Stephanie from the chamber, and that's all I've gotten back.
Well, I know it's on, the county commissioners have received it.
Yeah, I
the
sent,
notice. And I almost think it's better if we just pick the date, and if they can attend, great. If not, so be it.
well, I don't know that the county commissioners are that important, but
No.
getting Drew and Tim and Dan here definitely is.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Having him the same
know,
time he's here, I think would be really great.
Okay, well, let me see if I can do that.
So
I'll
that'd be
talk
the-
to Brianna.
The 18th of November. Monday.
Yeah, I'll give her a call tomorrow.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, I have that email, but what time was he gonna be here?
I think it's like 1 o'clock.
Okay.
Look real quick. 10 o'clock, 10 in the morning.
We're gonna have to notice that if, got some time, but just if we have one or the other or both.
By the way, Washington Public Courts Nominating Committee, they asked me to join that, to be on that committee. Do you have any objections?
I don't.
No, not at all.
Nominating for what?
For the Washington Public Courts Association, for the board and stuff like that.
As long as you advocate putting small ports,
Absolutely.
that's, I mean, that's, you look at those lists and
Mm-hmm.
it seems like it's all medium and larger ports on those.
Yeah.
So,
Problem with small ports is they don't get involved enough, you
Yeah.
know, enough.
Well,
and
I
it's hard to-
sent a letter to the incoming president telling her I'd be interested in serving on the board.
Oh, good, okay.
And sent her a resume and
Great.
reference sheet.
Good.
So, I haven't heard back. but
She
sent-
doesn't really take over until the first anyway,
Yeah.
so.
So November 18th
Yeah.
at 10 o'clock
10
for,
a.m.
but we would have the tour first and then maybe have the ribbon cutting after that?
Yeah,
like
you
noon
know,
or
maybe
so?
do that. He wants to see everything we do, so maybe have it at noon. And then, you know, get some food and stuff, invite everybody in here.
Who are the VIPs, do you think? I mean,
Well, it should be Drew and Dan and Tim,
Yeah.
for sure. And this guy. And then I invited the county commissioners, invited like Stephanie, and invited Jennifer and Carr. So,
Good.
November 18th. Never did answer you because I felt like there might have been something.
let me hold that out here.
That's what my daughter's doing.
Thank you. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Well, you know I'll be at work that day.
Yeah, I saw something was kind of a joke about that. Said, you enjoy your 20s, 30s, and 40s, but when you hit your 50s, that check engine light's coming on.
I saw that too. Isn't that the truth? All right, so is there any action needed for that, or just work on the 18th? And
If that works for you, I'll start pushing
works
that
for
date.
me.
That works for me.
Yeah, that works.
And then sign documents for the Kitsap Bank Plan of
Yeah,
Credit.
that's all this stuff here.
And any action done there besides signing?
No, just
No,
need
we
to
are-
sign it.
we
We're
can
gonna
motion.
do the closing tomorrow, but it's all email basically.
Yeah. Anything else for new business?
Just one Leanne, how tight or how is the Best Western booked for Friday night?
Yeah, I just canceled those two so far.
Okay,
So,
all right,
yeah.
so,
Well, I could stay Friday night, but I have to be out there early Saturday.
yeah, I have to be out early, but,
I just keep thinking about it taking longer to get from Auburn to the Narrows Bridge than it takes to get from Leavenworth to Auburn.
I'm gonna take the Kingston ferry home.
I know the last time I came back from Spokane, it took me longer to get from Auburn to the Narrows Bridge than it took me to go from Spokane to Auburn.
Wow.
yep.
I mean, that's nuts. And I know BIAW, they have changed their meeting schedules, so they meet Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday now because of that. So, you know, Friday night, everybody that had to go back to the west side was saying, if you have it in Eastern Washington, do not have it on a Friday night.
Wow. Darn.
Any other new business? We'll move to public comment period. Please.
Yeah, without help, that's good.
By the way, 167 is a great alternative.
Yes.
Saved me $2 last time. Do you need my name? You know who I am. Just wanted to update you on what's going on with the Sergeant project. Judy was here. I put a the call for bids out, and we got 3 responsive parties, and I also sent the stuff to Ron, but I'm not sure he's going to bid. I haven't heard anything back from him. I think they were very interested in the project. We'll be closing the bids on this Wednesday, and I think they were really solid people, so I'm hoping that we get a really good bid from them. And I've set March 31st as the end date, but I also put time will be a consideration in picking the bid. That would be great if we got it done by then.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were all, I think, went really well.
good.
I went down to the county, we got everything extended and the shoreline and everything, and they said you might as well extend that one too, so it's extended. Yeah, and ours is extended and everything is okay with it. And they told me that for the rest of the building, I don't need any more engineering, so I'm just gonna go down and get the permit for the whole building, and that'll be done. And whatever engineering you guys need as far as the pier, our engineer can give that to you if there's something that you still need from it. I'd love to be at the ribbon cutting,
Yeah.
because that's what we're gonna sit this on, but I'll be flying back from Florida that day, so I can't be there. With regard to extending the dock or the pier, I think it would have been great, all this stuff would have been great if it had happened before, but we're so far in the process now that we would prefer not to have it extended. So that's where we are with it. Any
All right.
questions? I think we're in really pretty good, we're moving ahead. People are excited, so.
Thanks, Bonnie.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Bonnie.
Diedrich, got anything? Good of the order?
See you later.
Motion to
Right?
adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.